And I also understand Nick Saban said something real interesting, and I think this has a lot to do with his decision, truly. And we're seeing coaches now get out of college football and college basketball because of the cycle and the work in the transfer portal, right? There are a couple schools that are exempt from this. If you watch Texas A&M on Friday night, one of the things that jumped out at me, and I've known this, but it was confirmation. Most of those guys that are on those teams have started their career with those teams. Like when you have a real, like, for lack of a better term, blue blood program that you are running, right? Like, yeah, of course you have to go out there and battle for 5-star, 4-star recruits, but they're attracted to you just as much as you're attracted to them. In a lot of scenarios, like they want to be a part of what you have going at your school because of the history of Ohio State, the history of playing at Texas, the history of playing at LSU, the national championships. By the way, I do have a little bone to pick, a little bit of a bone to pick with people that talk about like Ed Ogeron just opened the door and fell ass backwards into a national championship. The guy, was a part of that program and ran the program, and they won a national championship. I don't like talking about LSU and the football program itself like they're just handing out national championships. Those coaches that won titles there kicked ass and earned those national championships. Like I don't like that. Like, oh, everybody this side of Ed Ogeron has won a title there. Dude, it's not that simple, right? Like he won a national title there, as did Nick Saban, list goes on. So, everybody this side of Brian Kelly, I apologize. So what is going on out there? You hear that whistle? Is that a whistle?
No idea, but I did hear it.
I'm going to do my best Mike Elko. You guys want to keep it down out there so we can run a professional show? Thank you. You like that?
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good, right? Somebody's like whistling in the hallway. I hope I freak somebody out. It's about time we do that. We're too nice around here. So the more I dig into this Lane Kiffin thing, and this is what I mentioned, the Nick Saban comment. Saban and a lot of these guys, I don't think they were doing his dirty work per se, but they're kind of connected, right? I mean, when Lane Kiffin tells you he's going to talk to Nick Saban and Pete Carroll, because Pete Carroll is kind of an extension of his father all the time that Monty Kiffin coached for Pete Carroll, and all the time that they coached together. So there's a real strong relationship there. Obviously, we know what Nick Saban is in his life. But Saban said, look, if he goes to LSU, he will not have to fight and grind and claw in the transfer portal every single year. He will not have to do that. It alleviates a huge chunk of what if, is this guy going to stay? Is this guy going to flip? Where is he going to go? Because there are other programs that are more influential and have more power and don't have to do the gritty work that we have to do here at Ole Miss. There is a freedom from some of that responsibility and drama and headache at LSU, right? As opposed to being at Ole Miss and grinding it out in the transfer portal every single year. The next question. So that is actually a really understandable reason as to why he would want to leave Ole Miss eventually. Now, the next question is, like, should Ole Miss have let him stay and coach in the college football playoff? I've done a lot of thinking on this, and I think they should have, okay? And I know that sounds so dumb. And I know for me, as Scotty will attest, I'm way better of being a prisoner of the moment than I am of seeing the whole field, right? Especially with sports. I just get excited. I get emotional. But if we want to see the whole field on this one, okay, history tells you that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Ole Miss. Like, literally. Like, if you were born in 1950, okay, and now you're 75 years old, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you, for your team to win a national championship at Ole Miss. I think they had really unbelievable success or a lot of success in 1960, okay? But you get what I'm saying. This is a once in a lifetime. Now, if you're Keith Carter, the athletic director there, by the way, I love when these guys, like a Keith Carter, his name's been in the news so much with this Lane Kiffin thing. So you kind of flex when you say Keith Carter. It's kind of like if you watch the 365 guys, and anytime that Paul Catalina can say Tony Petiti, he loves to just say Tony Petiti. Like that means he's really dialed in with college sports. So everybody's loving it. Keith Carter. I know the AD at Ole Miss. Keith Carter. Like, look, man, all things being equal, I wasn't talking much about Keith Carter before this situation came up. If you told me Keith Carter, I would have thought Kevin Carter, the old defensive end that went to Florida and played for the Rams. But Keith Carter is the AD at Ole Miss, okay? And I understand his job is to protect the integrity of that program and that athletic department. And to allow someone like Lane Kiffin to continue to coach at your university, where he can maybe try to poach more players to have them come with him, maybe poach more coaches to come with him. Look, man, we're living in a world where I don't think that makes any difference. I really don't. Now, I'm sure there was an argument that's a very good one that will be opposed to my point. And I understand why they didn't take the risk of having him stay. I mean, it's sort of career suicide for this athletic director, Keith Carter, if he does say, hey, no problem, stick around. You got carte blanche. Like, if you don't win the national championship and then Lane Kiffin leaves and maybe there's one more assistant coach or one more player that he is able to convince and gather to come with him over the course of this playoff situation, then I can see how, there's egg on your face. But I truly believe risk reward. If Ole Miss wants a national championship, the guy's not going to take the trophy with him, right? But if Ole Miss wants a national championship, this is your best shot right here. This is your best shot. Now, again, we can go back to Bo Schembechler. When I was a kid, I won a Michigan man coaching a Michigan team when Bill Frieder took the head coaching job at Arizona State, and Schembechler said, hey, he's not going to coach our team in the NCAA tournament. And then Steve Fisher takes Michigan to a national championship. Pretty awesome. Will that happen this year? I don't know. We got a new head coach, Keith Golding, or I think his name's Keith. Maybe it's Kevin, or maybe it's another first name. But he's an outstanding defensive coordinator, and he has been promoted to head coach. And you got to give major props for Ole Miss as far as that is concerned, because they executed something the folks down the road here at Baylor can't even figure out. Right? Like, just, hey, we got a guy who's going to leave, or we want to leave, and then we're going to name a new head coach. It didn't seem so difficult, did it? I know there's extenuating circumstances at Baylor right now, but you get my idea. So